basics of setting up a vector Adobe Illustrator self-portrait. So I'm going to dive right in to create a new file. I'm in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to use regular letter settings. I don't need a bleed. RGB color is what I need for my specs. I do not title mine right here. So I'm going to hit create. Then I go in and title because I like to know where I'm saving everything. So I've already got this folder, and this folder is located in my documents, teaching, portraits. Be very careful if you are also saving on a flash drive because your folders can be named the same thing. Usually you're just copying, and it's very easy to think you're saving in one spot when in reality you're saving in the other. So I know I'm in iCloud, and this is my hierarchy. So under portraits, and I'm going to name this Brenda Harrison self. And looks good. I'm going to leave the settings as default. Great. Now I'm going to go, and I've got a photograph that I'm going to use as my template. So I'm going to hit place, file place, go up, and at this point I can see this JPEG. This is what I'm going to use. I'm not going to link it. I want mine to be embedded, so I'm going to leave that off. If you choose to do link, that's fine. It actually saves you in file size. I'm going to hit place. And now I'm going to rearrange. Whoop. I'm going to rearrange my image until I get it in the spot that I would like it. So I want my shoulders to fit within the artboard. And that looks good. Okay. So at this point you want to go in and lock this layer. You do not want to mess that up. And I'm going to start a new layer. So I'm not a portrait artist, so don't come at me if you've got a different style to this, but this is the best method that I have found when creating vector artwork, is to sort of start with my base shapes, then fill them, then add basic details, then add my high details. So I'm going to start with this basic head and skull shape without my hair. And you're gonna kind of see that I'm gonna go through some of the basic steps. So step one, I'm gonna trace my head. And I'm gonna label this now. I'm gonna leave that open because I'm actually gonna dive into this a few times. I'm gonna use my pen tool, and I'm going to get pretty close. You want to be able to see your details. And I'm going to do this basic head shape. Start with my chin. I can always come in and edit. This is going to feel a little strange. I got off there. I'll come back in and fix that. I want sort of the top of my head if I had a shaved head. Swap this to outlines. Cheek. And that's part of my smile. Give myself a line there for my chin, and then finish off. Now before I go into anything else, I'm going to fix this a little bit better. This is odd. Ooh. I want that up in there. I want to add another point. I'm going to add my ear in separately later. I want to have that jaw just a little bit. I can see right now that I've got some really strange curvature happening here. So I want to get in there and fix that now. You want a great foundation. So I'm just going to kind of slowly work around. Some of it I'm going based on exactly what I could see. Some of it is just knowledge of doing figures. Like I know I need to have this cheekbone area. I know I need to give myself a little bit of an indentation for my smile as my cheek were to come out. I know we have some of this forehead. And that looks better. This is still a little funny. And honestly, this chin is still just a little bit odd. It's because I've got these different points. So I need to, probably one of the better ways to do it is to delete one of them. What that does is give you the opportunity. So if I'm doing the two sides of my chin with, like, say, these points, this can be my center, and that's going to help smooth it out. The less points you have, the smoother your lines are going to be. So, perfect. Much better. All right, so I included my chin and jaw. Now I'm going to trace my neck and shoulders. I'm going to put that on a layer below. Neck, shoulders. I'm going to lock my head layer. And notice I'm not going to do anything with color right now. I'm just getting all the base in. Less points is better, but sometimes you need more. That's going to be a little funny. We'll have to go back and fix that. And because I'm going to put this behind my head, I'm not worried about any of that. I do want to go fix this ahead of time. I'm just going back and forth with the direct select and changing the handles on this curve. That's a little sharp, but I'm okay with that. Okay. Good. So I'm going to get my ear at this point. And it depends on the way you're facing. So if you're facing very forward, your ear should be behind your head. So I'm going to do mine like that. But it is a little on the side. So basic shape of an ear. Don't be afraid to do a lot of zooming in. You're going to have to look at yourself for a while for this, but this is a really great opportunity for branding material. I'm not in love with how pixelated my entire image is, but we're going to still run with it. There's the basic shape of my ear. This has gotten up way too high. Really, it connects there. Now, if at any point you need to turn a curve, like see how this is going out, if I wanted it to come the other way, you can click on the Option key on your keyboard, and then it lets you turn the curve a little bit. So I'm going to do that. which is going to give me a pointed ear, but I will fix that later if I need to. One of the ways to do that is add another point. So get that curve in there nicely tucked in by my ear. A lot of it's trial and error. You're going to try something, it may work, great, it may not. Not the end of the world, don't freak out. I just need to smooth that out a little bit. Okay, basic shape of my ear. Done. Now I'm going to do the basic shape of my hair. I'm going to put this on top of my head. Or in front of. Hairlines are real distinct, so be careful as you're creating these. You know, if you have a widow's peak, I don't know what that is, look it up. If you've got a funny cowlick, you know, whatever is distinguishable for you, make sure you're showcasing those things. Don't just make a big bowl on your head. So I'm going to go a little further out, which is going to look pretty funny at first. That's okay. There's my basic of that hair. I want my ponytail hair. A little bit bigger. I'm just kind of thinking through how I'm going to get these brush marks in, but we will leave. I'm going to do this, and we can always change it. So I'm going to run him straight across because that's fine for me for now. Remember, you can always rearrange your layers. You can always rearrange the content that's in your layers. Great. So now you have kind of your basic shapes, right? So let me show you how easy it is then to go in and fill in the basic color for these. I can make some saves. My face is pretty bright. A lot of that has to do with the screen. I was using the camera on the computer to take the picture. So I'm going to use some of this color that I see down here. I'm going to lighten it a tad bit because I'm just in a really dark room and I know I'm not that dark. And I'm going to save this color. New swatch, skin base. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these other colors right now. Holding shift, clicking, and deleting. I like to leave my base grayscale. I like to leave my base pure colors. Okay, the next thing, I would go grab some hair. New swatch, hair base. Because you're going to have hair highlights, you're going to have hair shadows. And that's the basic for those things. So then how easy is it to go in? Ooh, we've got to unlock our layers. Keep our photo. We can then grab our face, grab our neck, grab our ear. We can give it that one shade that we have. We're going to go and fix it in a little bit. We can also go in and grab our hair, give it a hair. Now, this guy needs to get moved back. They also all need to have their strokes taken off. You can already see it's taking some really good basic shapes. So before I move on, I'm going to grab this piece and show you how you can move objects. So I know I need my hair to go not only behind this hair, but it behind my head. So I'm going to do Command X to cut it. I'm going to go make a new layer, call it ponytail. I'm going to go Command Shift V to paste in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color just slightly so I can see it. I'm going to make it just a bit lighter, more wispy. Great. Another thing you can do is take this skin, and you can do one or the other. I'm just going to darken it so that my face is the lightest. And I'm also going to just barely darken my ear. I really like to grab shades from your tool panel in the fill because I think it keeps you in the same colors. Instead of just grabbing random colors from a big rainbow of options, stick with the colors that you're using. Okay, so this gives us a really great base. In your next lesson, I'm going to show you how to start adding some of your basic details. Stay tuned.